So I just got off a sales call that turned in one of those conversations, where it feels like someone's trying to sell you not just on their offer, but the way that they're doing that is by having you doubt yourself. And there was a line that he said that stuck with me. It was like, if it would have worked by now, then it would have worked. And I want to unpack that today because I know I'm not the only one who's been told something like this. And this is, yeah, line of the sand. We got to shift this today. So let's get to it. Well, welcome back to Money Simplified. I'm your host, Amy Circa. I'm feeling a little spicy, for lack of a better word, agitated. Anyway, so today I want to talk about manipulation tactics and how you can overcome them, and letting you know you can opt out of those as well when it comes to sales calls, all those things. All right. So I just got off a sales call, and it was one that I was actually kind of excited about, that I was looking forward to. That I get email pitches on LinkedIn all the time for YouTube marketing. Well, guest appearances and stuff on the podcast. I know you get pitches as well for people to do things. But this one pitch, it came in, and YouTube editing is something that I do want to outsource at some point. Like, I'll have a team member that'll handle it for me, or a company that I contract out to handle it for me, right? So I have in mind a vision of what I'm looking for. Well, this pitch came in and it included the thing that I'm open to. It's like, okay, hey, this could actually be a fit. This could be a possibility. Now we're actually going to get to that more here in a little bit with manipulation tactics, right? But I went ahead and booked the call, whatever, got on the call. Yeah, no, not quite. So, like I said in the opening there was a line, and essentially the point that he was trying to make, was that there's something missing, because if what I had done up until this point, we've been publishing videos, been doing videos since 2018. So it's been 6 years that I've been on video, right? And if what I was doing would have worked in the way that I wanted to work, it would have worked by now. And that is a very classic way of invalidating the past effort. It makes it seem like there's, something wrong with me, something's broken. Shame, huge shame lever here that you're trying to hit. But didn't work. That, it's no, I don't believe that at all. And we went back and forth for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And finally it was this is not productive. Neither one of us is going to see. So this is a sticking point for the services. Then we need to just walk away, because this isn't going to work. Okay. So let's talk about why that's not accurate. And maybe this will help you here. So, especially with the way that I built my business, I know that this goal, because again, he wanted a tactical financial number. And yeah, I have that, but not in the timeline, the way that he was doing that. And it's a different way of operating. There are some people that method of operating and setting the goals, it's a much more masculine way of operating. In the next 12 months, you're going to make X amount of dollars. What's your income goal in the next 12 months type thing. And that's not how I operate. Because, and this has so much to do with the trust and the emotional regulation that we're working to create. Because been there, done that. I've done those things, right? We've set those goals, and it has to happen. It has to show up there. And then what I've discovered is you're setting yourself up for a lot of dysregulation. So we can have the goals, yes, but that it has to happen in that time frame. That's where we create friction, because if you don't hit that goal, right? How many times have we set a goal and not achieved it, right? Then you go to set it again, and then there's the voice in the back of your head. It's like, well, what's going to make this time different? And there are people who can overpower that, and they don't have that problem. And if that works for you, fantastic. It's not that there's just one way to operate. And that's kind of the point that I was trying to make to him. There's not just one way to operate. That is not where I'm at. I have the trust. This is the way that it'll work. This is what I want to happen. This is the way that I want to run my business. This is what I'm looking for. And really, it's kind of interesting because I think the point he was trying to get me to make was like that I was missing that piece of information or it would have worked by now. It's like I know I'm not an expert at this. This is why I'm looking for help. But don't tell me I'm missing something because there's nothing missing. You're not broken. There's new levels out there. But everything that you've learned in your past, I'm not the same person that I was 6 years ago when I started recording videos. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. I'm not the same person I was a month ago. And neither are you. Like, you're doing the work, you're growing. And if you trust in the timing and in your alignment, like, you can move forward and unlock new levels, move forward, right? But it doesn't have to be out of like there's a missing piece. Because that missing piece isn't like a new shiny offer, like having somebody do the YouTube for me. That's not the missing piece. The missing piece of anything is like the internal work, right? It's the confidence in myself. It's the clarity and like knowing what I'm doing and not being pulled in all the different directions, knowing how I want to operate my business. Like, this is what I want to work. I'm very clear on that. Or consistency. And consistency doesn't have to be consistency. Like that was a bustle. Raising my hand for those who are listening. Like, that was the thing that I had to work to overcome. I mean, we didn't release a podcast episode last week. And even it's still like, oh, I've said I would do it. I said that I would be consistent. But you know what? The world didn't fall apart when we didn't release a podcast episode. Like, it's just moving forward. And trust in yourself and knowing what's right for you and knowing that you're not going to be pressured into those things isn't being closed off. I am very open into like, I can learn new things. I can learn new things from all sorts of situations. It's not even like it has to be this specific people. My kids taught me something this week. Did he realize he was teaching it? No, but I know for me, God can work through anybody. So am I open to that? Am I open to hearing what could be the next level for me, the next thing that I can take on, the new level that I can unlock? And yes, I have goals that I'm working towards. And yes, you have goals that you're working towards, but you're not broken. And you know what? That's kind of hard to say right now. Because there's definitely times where I felt broken. Didn't think this was going to get this emotional or transparent. But I know that I'm not broken, even when it feels that way. And when it feels that way, that's where it's much more important that you've got people in your corner that you've got people in your corner to support you. And the right people. You don't have to buy from the fear or the guilt or the shame, the FOMO. If the sales call makes you feel like you're broken instead of feeling more empowered, support, like, that's a red flag. And it takes strength. It takes trust. It takes being able to hear yourself that this is the way that you want to do things. And to stay in your lane, especially when you're working, and not stay in your lane, but stay focused, especially when you're working towards something and you haven't achieved the goals that you're working towards yet. It's like, okay, maybe this was wrong. Maybe this isn't the way it's supposed to work. And there's times where we need to take action and we're avoiding taking action, or we're playing small because we're afraid. And again, that doesn't go back to doing something differently or something that you're missing. It's just the next layer. It's the new thing that you have to unlock. But you're not broken. You're not missing anything. And you don't have to subscribe to those things. It's like, there's so many things, tactics, strategies that are presented out there as the only way to make something work. And there's not one way to do this. There's not one way to grow your business. There's not one way to run your business. There's not one way to organize your finances. That's why we have the tactical strategy, but you're not tied to it. I have multiple clients that have been clients for years that I know don't use the strategy the way that I've taught it. But you know what? We still make tremendous progress together because my strategy isn't the only strategy. I know my strategy works and it works well, but you don't have to take all of my strategy. We can use your strategy. And it works just fine because, again, it's about the new level, a new identity, a new role that you want to play. And doing that internal work is what makes the strategy stick. So, okay. I think that's what I've got for here. You don't have to buy from fear, guilt, or shame. You can trust your gut. You don't even have to do sales calls. Like, I have them available, but I don't love them as a consumer. So why would I want to get out? This experience right here is why we don't love them as consumers, right? We've had too many experiences where it's like, oh my gosh, like, do I need to go shower? But if you're ready to learn what support could look like without the pushy sales tactics, let's talk. Okay. Reach out, send me a message on Instagram at Amy Circa, and let's see what it could look like to work together that feels empowering and aligned. Support is not out of reach as you might think. And that mentality, like, hey, it can show up now. This type of thing that I've been looking for. Okay, yeah, I'm not done. We're going to highlight the expectation. Like, this is something that I had on my radar that I want support with, that I don't want to handle. We need to have those things in place. This should be a separate podcast episode. Oh, well. But have those things that you're envisioning and know it can show up now. Be open to it. Don't feel like it has to be this long off thing. And that's part of the whole, like, it's got to be 12 months out, 24 months out. Like, maybe it'll show up tomorrow. Do you have the systems in place? Do you have the things in place? Could this show up now? While you're listening to this podcast, could it be here? Could that be available now? Could it be available to you tomorrow? Those things, being open to it, that it's not off on a someday list. It's possible now.